So guys, I'm currently doing a little critique video on my third fight with Erlang Shen. This guy's a pain, and he's even worse when you beat the game for a third time. Because I was trying to collect every single relic there is, and I was like, well, it's going to be a breeze because I have everything unlocked pretty much, except all of Ring of Fire, right? Wrong. This was very difficult. Obviously, I don't know all the best strategies. I like to use my own. So that could be it too. Maybe there's like a lot easier ones that I didn't even think about. But to be honest, and there's another one called Spellbinder, which I probably should have tried. But I think I tried it when I think in my first playthrough, and it didn't work very well. I don't think Spellbinder is for everybody. I haven't tried it on Broken Shell Sage, but as you can see, you just have to get a pretty good start and get his first life bar down. Because I heard some of the frustration online on this character, guys. If you beat it for a third time, it's even worse. Like, the game just gets progressively more difficult. And I couldn't believe how much of a pain this was, considering that I already beat the game twice before this. So I'm like, the game does not care how powerful you've gotten. Like, it's pretty insane. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the challenge, but at the same time, I was like, come on, give me a freaking break. And as you can see, I still get hit by odd things, and I think it goes even further now. I don't know if it's been patched and now his powers are even more ridiculous, but it really did feel like he was a lot stronger. So I had to be more tricky. I had to use more strategy in general. And yeah, it's just out of control. Like, this guy is... Now, what I like about the game is that the music goes perfectly with the fights, right? Which I think I mentioned in the review. If I didn't, here it is. And yeah, there's a couple of cool things that I like. I don't like how some of them, like the delays and stuff, some of it feels like wine, you know? But overall, I think the game does a pretty good job of giving you that difficulty with some fairness. Like, you do have the tools, you just have to know how to use them. So don't be discouraged, just keep trying, really. And you'll figure something out, like I did with the fan. Then the crazy part is, I beat him the first time when I figured out what armor and fan. You guys will see it, I have a playlist on it. And I tried different things until I figured it out. And then I went online and somebody else found out about the fan. So I was like, cool, we all got to the same conclusion. I think that fan is very important against him, because I didn't see anything really work that well except for that. Because it knocks off his, basically his guard. It's that white bar underneath, if you can see it. And you have to knock that out for you to actually do some damage and stop it from countering everything you do or blocking everything you do. Because he just blocks a lot with his staff. And yeah, these are just annoying things that I figured I'd bring up. Obviously, this is one of the most epic. This should have been the final boss, really, because he's the one that kills Wukong at the beginning. So the Broken Shell should have been second to last. In a way, it is second to last, but it's not, because after I beat him, I got the relic. After I beat him for a third time, so they didn't even wait for me to get the true ending. And I think once I do the true ending, I'm supposed to get Wukong stance permanently. And I think I can use it anywhere, but don't quote me on that, I don't remember. So yeah, basically you should beat this game 3 times. I still have to do possibly like a half a playthrough just to get 3 more trophies. Maybe there's one that I couldn't get. There was a lantern, guys. You gotta take all of them out in order to get the last curio. It's like a difficult one to get. And 2 of them are random drops, which is just... I was seriously like, this game, you know, like, come on, you know. But so the trophies are kind of a pain in the ass. But in general, it's such a good game that you really don't care. You let a lot of things slide. And like I said, towards the end, it becomes an open world game, which is just things that you don't see coming. The game is full of surprises all around, guys. But yeah, basically you just master the dodge and figure out what he's about to do next and how to dodge it, because he has sort of a delay attack thing going. I think it's easier to dodge broken shell sage, but they're both a pain in the ass, and I think Erlang just has the edge because of just the delays, the way that he lifts the staff and then is like, oh, fooled you, oh, tricked you, oh, you know, it's just. But yeah, there's also other things that you can use, like in terms of armor. This armor that I'm using is the golden armor guard, I think it's called. Use all the stuff on it and you get key right away, so you keep using the fan. Fan charges up faster. I think there's something else I can equip. I don't know if I have it. And definitely use the Jewing Bang staff, because the critical hit on that is just really good. It might not be the most powerful, I don't think it is. I think it's the dragon one. The dragon one doesn't have the critical. It has 9% critical, it's slightly higher. But this one has some kind of like an added effect that I forgot. It's when combined with certain items, I think. And yeah, it was basically swallowing items and stuff to help me out, which I didn't think that would happen on the third try. The second try wasn't that bad. On my second try, I beat him. This time around, it took me a little longer, which is crazy since I beat the game already. But yeah, he's still a menace. Don't get it twisted. This guy is a real menace. And he should be, right? Because he's the guy that at the beginning he takes out Wukong, which is crazy. I still don't understand how that happened. I think the story is specifically for the game, because I don't think that was supposed to happen that way. I think even though technically in the game he's said to be stronger than Wukong, in the lore, him and Wukong are like the same power level. You know? It's like most fights with Vegeta versus Goku. You know, and then you don't really know who out of both of them is holding back. We usually assume it's Goku that's holding back, which has been proven several times. But Vegeta has been shown to also find, especially now that they're friends, find a really likeness to Goku. So he's not even trying to like wreck him either. Vegeta's sparring secretly, but he needs Goku to know that he's serious so that he would try harder. You know what I'm saying? To have that little. That's kind of like what Erlang and Wukong have. Except because later on we realized that he's trying to help us. Spoiler alert, in case you haven't played the game, I'm sorry. This video is more of a spoiler. As you can see, that's what I'm showing the fight. There's a few things that are hard to dodge. Like that, he does it twice. There's a small delay. His staff is easy to dodge if you back up when he starts swinging it. And then you have to find the right time to shoot a tornado at him, at the fan. Yeah, it's basically picking your spots properly, you know, and I think they patched a lot of the stuff that's online. I heard that they patched, there was stuff that people were doing that was like basically breaking the game. You can't do most of it anymore. So yeah, it still takes a lot of skill to take them out. I recommend I don't use smash stance for him. Some people are good at smash stance, I'm not. But, you know, it's up to you. I'm not an expert. You know, I just beat the game 3 times, guys. So take that right to be a line. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm that great at it, but, you know, and I did go through all the bosses very easily. So a lot of the bosses are still doable. But there's certain ones that you're like, you're going to be here for a while, and you're just going to have to be here. And you still get that nervousness when you fight Erlang. I don't know why. At least I do. I'm just like, my palms start kind of sweating, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be a huge undertaking. This son, you know what I'm saying? But I think yeah, like these cinematics. This is the part that blew me away, because I could not believe that they added this to the fight. I think this really, you know, just took me to another level with the game, because I was like. I thought they were going to preview this and then we were going to see one of them lose. But no, you literally fight through all of them. And you have to dodge to a certain extent. I don't know what happens if you don't dodge. I don't know if you can actually die in this form. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but I'm always wondering. it's kind of hard to want to do that when you just love whooping everybody's ass in the heavens and stuff. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Erlang is absolutely disgusting in this form. I am just grossed out by him, in every way. It's like, his clothes is cool, his face is cool and stuff, but then again, he's been around for thousands of years, like I get it. Wukong is also super old, and the gods are, obviously. But, what else can I say? The designs are so crisp, so cool. And they did some kind of improvement to the graphics as well. It looks a lot better on PS5 now, and it plays a lot better. Plus, like I said, if you do the 40 FPS mode at 1440p, upscaled to 4K, it works really well, but you have to have 120 Hz TV or monitor, guys. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of stuttering. There's virtually zero stuttering when you play with 120 Hz at 40 FPS. So, I think I've said it several times in my videos. Probably have you guys super tired of hearing it, but I kind of want to reinforce that because I've seen videos where people are like, I don't get it. Even 120 Hz, it wasn't working right. It's because, bro, you want to listen. Yeah, I'm saying. Also, remove motion blur. Now, a lot of people were playing with 60 Hz TV, and they thought, well, what's the difference? It's still less FPS. It doesn't work that way, guys. There's a certain frame pacing effect that only 120 Hz can do. Also, the game is heavily inspired by not only fantasy lore, but also martial arts and Chinese traditions. So, you hear the Chinese instruments playing in the background for the music, and it just really immerses you in a way that a lot of games don't, Funny thing about that, there's not a lot of dialogue, and you still feel immersed. So they managed to do something that I didn't think was possible. Because when I saw that he wasn't talking, because I thought that he would at least have Wukong's actor continue, no, he doesn't say anything, which was bothering me at first, and then throughout the game I realized, okay, so they want you to be I get it. But I still think that they shouldn't do that always. You kind of want to know what this character would sound like, He's obviously not as cocky as Wukong, so his personality would be slightly different, but you could tell he's confident. I mean, he's going up against these guys. These guys have all kinds of electrical powers, 4 Bane effect, 3 Bane effect. That doesn't help that much either, and I did celestial upgrades too, and I'm just like, why aren't they working the way I wanted to work, So you never feel overpowered in this game, I'll tell you that right now. There's certain bosses that you would. Like, it's crazy that Tiger Vanguard was trash the third time around. Like, I wiped him off the face of the earth. There's a few bosses that surprised me. The Mantis inside, what's his name? Baji's belly. That was easy, which surprised me because that guy was a nightmare the first time I found him. And yeah, it just goes on and on, The game does a really good job of a lot of different things that are usually utilized in video games. Like that, for example, charge attacks. They're well worth it. Why? Because they give you a little health bonus. And why not, I'm just saying, like, they try to not only just give you more difficulty, but also the fun. And I'm sure people have, like, some people told me that my review was late, and I understand, but you gotta understand, I thoroughly wanted to enjoy it. These are games that took me forever to do Ghost of Tsushima. Because I was slowly going through side missions and stuff, and then that's when I got the bright idea. I was like, shit, when I read that you can do it even after you beat the game, I was like, I'll just put all this shit in a stream video where I can just, you can see me play through all the side stuff, including the exploration and the shrines and the mines. You guys know, I just wanted to run. But yeah, the effects too, the sounds of this game, really loud. The gameplay is really fluid. You start comparing other games, and you realize how much of an advantage. Obviously, you're utilizing Unreal Engine 5, so I get it. But it's just the artistry. It's like a game that looks as good shouldn't play that well on PS5, and it does. Regardless of what they say online, don't believe them. Like I said, I beat this game 3 times. I unlocked everything. Most of those guys that reviewed the game, they didn't get past the 2nd chapter. Okay, they probably stopped at the rat, which he's called the Yellowwind Sage. That guy was a real nightmare for everybody. And some people didn't go past Vanguard Tigers, let me be honest. I'm not bragging or anything, but I just think that this is funny that you have an opinion on a game you didn't fully play. There's a lot to this game. When you think you've seen it all, you have not, my friends. You definitely have not. But right here, I'm having the time of my life, and I'm utilizing some of, I don't use some of the special moves for Stone Monkey. It's up to you guys if you want to use them. Sometimes I'll use the Ice one, Ice Fist. But I kind of like his melee attack. Just in general, they got that impact. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And then, oh, another thing I would equip would be a lot of like, well, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys what I use. I use a pluck of many. You know, not for everybody. For Erlang, it's not really effective, so I barely used. I think I used it the first time I beat him, but let's be honest, it's not. You'll get rid of him fairly quickly. But what you do need is some people use Rock Solid, and I don't even. I'm just bad at with Rock Solid. I don't. I haven't leveled up. I don't know. I might try it in my 4th playthrough when I'm getting the platinum, because I need space in my console. It's 109 gig, guys. You know. I don't know if I'm gonna use it. I forgot what the name of the freezing spell is. I'm trying to remember. Where they look golden. When you level that up, it's very effective, as well as block on many, so I use those. And the ghosts, I can't remember all of them for some reason. There's a few of them. With Erlang, you gotta stay out of the way. Like, you can't just go head to head with this guy because of his bar, his stamina bar. Now, I'm sure there's people that are good with breaking the game somehow, but I'm not. I just put in work, guys. Learn how to dodge properly. If you can miss most of his attacks with dodges, it works. You're still gonna get hit a few times. So what? So your armor is good, you're ready to go. Do not use bull armor, because that one's only good for the Bashu beast. Not for Erlang. He will still do a lot of damage, and you'll be even slower because you don't have perfect dodge with that armor. So, different enemies, you know, that's just how the game works. And some of them you gotta have infinite patience, like, it'll be just a process. You'll be picking away at them, picking away until you finally, you get some good shots in. So this game is not really for everybody. I think everybody should play it, but I don't think everybody needs to finish it. I mean, I would recommend finishing it, but it depends. You play difficult games, can you handle that? It's a hard conversation for most, really. And trust me, I'm not a freaking expert at, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't play difficult games all the time. But the ones that are heavily in good combat, right? Like your character moves quick and he's fun to play with. That's some slow ass character, right? With slow ass moves, you have to block, dodge, but that's not good fighting mechanics, guys. Fighting game people know that. That's why a lot of people ignore certain games. But when you move quick, like God of War is a good example of great combat in a game. Like, if you lose, it's your fault, you know. But there's games where if you lose, it's because the gameplay is so bad. They're like trying to tell people to get good, bro. Get good. Have them patch that gameplay, bro. Your character's so slow and shitty. That's why I never felt like I was at a disadvantage with Wukong, because he's so fast. Well, I guess the new version of the Destined one. But yeah, he's so fast that you feel like the game is very fair. It's like, I suck. Oh fuck, I suck. I could have changed this. You know? And it's just little things like that that make it more satisfying. And this battle is a slug, but it's a fun slug. So he's like a damage sponge, but in a good way, because you enjoy just battering him whenever you get that opening. Nothing about this game combat-wise frustrated me, to be honest. I think the only thing that frustrates me is collecting trophies. That is such a pain. Why did they do that? There's some trophies that you can literally miss. Like there's one where you're going, you know, in the second chapter. You're sliding down. Before you slide down there, you look up, and there's one of the curios that you find, and it's just, come on. It's like just meant to fool you on purpose. It's pointless things like that. It's like, come on. Like the game is already hard. Why do you have to make the trophy hard? It's like, shouldn't I be rewarded for beating the game that many times, you know? But it's okay. That's the way the game was made. What are you gonna do? Sorry, guys. I have sensitivity to light sometimes because of my vision issue. In case you're wondering why sometimes when I do the videos, you'll see me kind of not being able to lift my eyelids that high because it'll suddenly go away. It's due to dryness, you know. My eyes get really dry, but it doesn't matter. Another thing that I noticed is that they put extra animations the third time around after the updates. They did something different because the game just looks way better, and you know they wanted to put it out so. A lot of games when they're released nowadays, they're not completely optimized, and you gotta wait a few months after the patches to get the best version of the game. That's no secret, right, guys? So, and yeah, right there, I'm just going ham, you know, trying to get my dodges in. I'll miss some of them. As you can see, my health is going down. But then I'll use a charge attack, refill my health, you know. And I've never lost in this section of the fight, like the 3 times I fought him. So, but like I said, I'm not sure you can lose. I know that your health goes down, but there's the part where he catches you with the sword and he's like burning you, and your health's going all the way down, and you think you died, but you didn't die. He revives himself, so you're basically destined to beat them in the heavens. It's my analysis of this. I don't know. But yeah, this is so freaking amazing. I know a lot of people have seen this, but I couldn't get enough of this fight. This fight is the most epic. Like I said, this to me is the final fight of the game. It really is. Fighting Stone Monkey is mediocre. And Broken Shell Sage was cool. You know, the animations when you're fighting him and comes back, calls a stick, and takes your powers. He also humiliates you. I think that's what makes it even more funny. With the Broken Shell Sage. Sage's Broken Shell. But nothing is like this, guys. These cinematics, this is pure insanity. This Dragon Ball Z shit. You know what I'm saying? Then he cuts it in half. Wow. And I'm like, what's gonna happen? Ooh. Opening. Open the mouth. You guys remember Kung Pao when he says that? He goes, no, how's it go? He said something about getting beat up and then he thinks he's winning when he's losing. Watch Kung Pao, guys. This is a good movie. It's funny. Martial arts, making fun of a martial arts movie. Actually, the original was a 1970s movie, and Steve Ordrick, that directed the Ace Ventura movies, what he did is he put himself in the movie with special effects, you know. So it's just funny how he changes the dialogue and stuff. Some people don't like those parody movies, but I think they're good. This is hilarious. Boom. Because he's sort of a rival that's kind of a friend too. But come on, he's a little rough. Let's be honest. He's a little rough. Bro, I'm trying to get something done, and you're over here trying to teach me something, and I'm like, I don't have time for this bullshit, you know. I thought he was dead meat right there. Explain what this is, guys. I still don't understand, man. I hear voices and shit. Is this just like he's composed of several... He's like an Ermac. He's composed of several souls that go into one body.
Kindly
Or
chant the
legion.
loosening spell and release that attack attack so that you can get back my head. Holding your breath can be free. The cord.
Yeah, check, look how epic this is, guys. This is probably one of the most epic things in the game in general. I think this whole fight surpasses everything in the game, really.
Journey ends here.
Or maybe you guys can give me your opinion on that. This is just mine. Don't feel offended if mine isn't yours. As crazy as things have gotten, you know, your opinion is your opinion, guys. It's okay. It's just a game. And then this part confused me when he gave him the staff, and I was like, oh shit, so he's not a bad guy. But then I read the lore. Like I said, there's a lot of lore in the game you could read. It's available.
My brothers tested you at my behest.
But yeah, just make sure you have the correct armor. If you use Wukong's armor, it doesn't work that well against
Only now.
Erlang Shen, which makes sense. I know some people probably can beat him with that armor, but I found it harder.
Prestige can shackle.
And it makes sense because he defeated Wukong while he was wearing that. So,
No band.
in my opinion, lore-wise, it makes sense. Golden armor works great,
Mortal death.
and the serpent armor works great for the Sage's broken shell,
I'm now at peace.
because your health refills, and you're fighting in water, so it's beneficial to the outfit that you're using. Which is crazy because that was our first fight against a dude. Yeah, that was our first fight against a dude that had a second form. That was the first time we saw a second form in the game, the serpent guy. And that was like really at the beginning. It's chapter 1. And that guy took me a while to beat my first round around. It was like, when I saw he had a second form, I was about to cry. I was like, come on. Because I wasn't that strong. My armor was trash. Everything was trash.
The signs
So.
alone tell what's to come.
What's to come is what's not yet written. No one
And I found out who that kid is. Super powerful.
Destiny is written.
And they made him a kid because he's a
What's
reincarnation
done is what's to
of
come, not escape.
another character.
It's all written.
It's because the actor that played him in a movie died.
So,
Or so they said, you know, on my YouTube channel I watched.
that's good. Very good.
This guy was Yellow Long, or he was possessed by Yellow Long. I ended up fighting that guy in the 4th chapter, which is the poison chapter. That's got to be one of the most annoying chapters, guys. I'm sorry, it is. I don't know. Maybe some people love it, but I was like, And I think the jail chapter or the prison chapter in chapter, or the prison section in chapter 3 sucks. Chapter 3 doesn't suck, but that area does. They try to mix it up, you know. They had a fire chapter. I heard it was supposed to be 12, but it's, you know. Anyways, guys, I end my analysis right here. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe when you get a chance. And like I always say, go game.